All right, hey everybody, back another news feed video here for you. This one kicking it off right off the bat, quick, simple, easy. But GMC era, the GMC Sierra 1500. Do you like the unique wheel well openings? And they're doing a poll, and it says on here the GMC, the Silverado, and the 1500 Sierra. 1500 Sierra and 1500 Silverado share the same core architecture and mechanical DNA. They're basically the same thing for the most part, built on the same lines, but there are several little things that are different. One of the most notable is the shape of the wheel wells. Many of you will or may not have noticed this, but they put them side by side. Which do you like better? Looking at the Silverado 1500 profile, the wheel wells are rounded, bending around the wheels and the tires in a single continuous arc and lending the truck to more conventional appearance. By contrast, the Sierra squared off wheel well openings and the Sierra's more angular arches give the truck more rugged, purpose-built look, also while reinforcing GM's position as a premium, bold alternative to a Chevy sibling. You can see them right here. Okay, this is a ZR2 version they used, but you can see that round. Look at it back mainly. Okay, because the ZR2 front bumper with its Viper cut, it's a little different. But look at here. You can see this continuous arch. And then here you can see what's going on with the GMC with this kind of weird angled approach on it. Me personally, I like the Chevy 1,000 times better, my thought. But in both of them, my biggest problem is not so much, they got a better picture of it here? My biggest problem is not the height here or any of that kind of shape. It is the fact that it is too tight right here. See this spot where my mouse is right here and right here? That drives me nuts when they do this. Okay, that is a problem for putting on bigger wheels. If I can I click the enlarge one? Let's see, even on a ZR2. Yes. This, okay, you got all this height right here. This gap right here is a problem, and this gap right here is a problem. This gap right here is a problem. This gap between this tire and this bumper is a problem. These are the problems. These wheel wells should continue out further. This should continue back right into here. This should cut out more. These are the problems with the Chevy wheel wells, is the fact that you cannot get bigger tires in them because they cut you off at the low end right here. And they do the same exact thing with GMC, is no different. They cut you off. Again, now this is not a ZR2 with bigger wheels, but look at jam tight right here. Can't get through there. Jam tight here. You got all this room in the wheel well till you get right here and right here. Right here and right here. That is my biggest gripe with them. So let me know what you're thinking on here, how you feel about these. We're moving on pretty quick from this. So that was just a little highlight video. Now this one, car colors. 2 car colors hurt your resale. Steer clear of these shades. It's very interesting to see. I would never have guessed it was these. I would have thought it'd been like a yellow, something like that. No, it's common colors. So when we look at this, apparently my all my markers that were on here are gone. So we're going blind. But a study by Nexus Media using insight from Easy Search compared depreciation across 10 best-selling models from sedans to SUVs and EVs. Average 5-year depreciation has surged for 5 years to 45.6% in 2025, up from 38.3% in 2023, with electric vehicles losing more than 60% of their value. But what this is telling you is that our vehicles made today they're depreciating much faster in 25 than they did in 2023. Huge difference. Our vehicles they're costing more and they're worth less, is what the problem is. Now, blue is bad. Blue average depreciation at 27.11%. Average value loss 12.44. It said blue cars rank as worst performing for resale, coming with the steepest average drop among popular colors. According to Kelley Blue Book, blue vehicles are also harder to keep clean since water spots, scratches, swirl marks show up quickly. That extra upkeep doesn't help their resale prospects. Despite these drawbacks, blue still lands in the top 5 most popular car colors, with 9% of the market last year being blue cars. But blue is one that they say is bad, avoid it. Black is the other one. Obviously, black and blue very similar, but average depreciation 23.3%, average value lost $10,800, despite being one of the most common shades on the road, coming in second of the list at 22% of market share. The study found black vehicles depreciated more than most other vehicles colors. Shoppers may be drawn to the sleek look, but used buyers show less enthusiasm, dragging down trade-in and resale value prices. Kelley Blue Book noted that black cars not or look best right out of the wash, then dirt, pollen, and dust settle almost immediately, and people in the used world don't want to deal with it, so they don't want to buy them. So black and blue cars are your worst two colors that you can actually get when it comes to resale value, and it does affect it, I guess. So study also tracked depreciation on red, silver, and white. Unlike black and blue, these shades are easier to care for in terms of maintaining their look. Red cars fall at 21.6 on average, costing $8,700. Silver drops to 21.3, losing only $8,200. White proved the most stable on the list, dropping only 18% or $7,000. And it tops the list as the most popular color at 25% of the market share. The gap between white and blue is more than $5,000. That's huge. See, because you're here for white, you're at 18%, $7,000 loss, and for blue, you're at $12,400 or $12,500 average loss. So between blue and white, if you bought the same truck and you bought it in blue, you can expect to get $5,000 5 years later. Expect $5,000 less than if you bought a white one. And the interesting part is the blue one probably cost you $395 or $595 or $995 extra to get the blue on top of the value lost. So that's pretty interesting when you think about it. While drivers might choose their color based on aesthetics, it could have a big impact on how much money you get back when it's time to sell. Pretty interesting. Food for thought. Keep it in the back of your head. Use it however you want to. Moving on from here. Dumbest car myths. These are the dumbest car myths out there right now. I thought this was pretty interesting. We're going to move through it pretty fast. But the magic hyper milling carburetor. Everyone has probably heard some variation of the unknown scientist who in the mid-20th century invented a magic carburetor that would allow vehicles to get 100 plus mpg, and it was silenced or murdered through somehow shady plot carried out by the big oil and automotive companies. In my time, actually, what it was on ceramic engines. They invented, this was always the term the myth we heard. There was ceramic engines were made and they were shelved and they're put away, and so that they'll be there because you could just replace your car body and keep your same engine over and over again with ceramic-based engines. The other one was never-ending brake pads, and they shelved it. GM and Ford and Toyota and everybody got together, and they bought it out, and they silenced them, and they won't let them use it because they want you to buy brake pads. Those are always those myths that I was hearing, early on kind of thing. It says, here's another one. GM trucks are different. Okay, GM trucks were stamped out of thicker steel than Chevy trucks. They are not. They are made on the same exact lines, going down the same exact things. There is no difference in there whatsoever. Plus two coupes have cheaper insurance. The two-seaters are bringing down the plus two-seaters are bringing down the insurance rates. Nonsense. Never sourced. Insurance companies are in a business of knowing exactly what does and does not make them money, and they have a bunch of data with which that is for a very long time. The plus two seats are so that you can tell your new spouse, see, honey, the 911 is really a family car. But it's interesting. No seatbelt is safer. This is no longer as prevalent as once was, but I used to hear people say wouldn't wear a seatbelt because it could trap them in case of a crash, and they'd be safer without it. You don't hear that too much these days. Seatbelts have obviously proven themselves. Switching fuel maker does more damage. I'm not sure how myth-worthy this is, but I've always get gas at the same company. My dad was a mechanic in the 70s, 80s and told me that the different companies have different fuel refining process, and despite octane, the car would respond differently. Well, I doubt there's maybe some kernel of truth to this. I do not believe it's the case anymore. That said, I'll stick with a single brand as much as I can. Me personally, I don't care. I don't care at all. I just go to whatever gas stations there. I could care less on that. Never put any thought in it. Next one here, can't drive barefoot. Okay, it's illegal to drive barefoot. Heard that in the 80s and every now and then since then. Knew a guy who got fired from a school bus gig for driving barefoot. He wore Birkenstocks year-round in North Alberta, and the school board fired him and took him to court. Was over pretty quick. He just took the money as he really didn't like driving and got away from it. So anyway, pretty interesting there. I don't know. I don't see why it would be illegal to drive barefoot at all. I mean, I think it should be more illegal to drive in heels than it would be to drive barefoot. Super duty, small appendage. Okay, big truck, small tools. Multitude of reasons here. First is just lazy and unoriginal thinking. It's lowbrow. It means It's mean spirited as it gets. Commenting on someone's private parts being generalized in judgment is the first place. It forced mentions of someone else's private parts that didn't we decide a while back that body shaming is generally crappy behavior? I get it, free speech and all, but if someone sees a guy driving a big truck and their first reaction is to come up with this concept and comment and bring this up, my first reaction is that they're just too fragile, spiteful of a person. I agree. When you hear stuff like that, it's like, get over yourself. People just love trucks. They love things like that. Why would you assume that? And most likely it's wrong. So anyway, there you go. My thoughts on that. Any questions, comments you got, put them below. Thanks for watching.